Welcome to the Go Unpro podcast, a doctor's 52-week journey to an unprocessed life. Now, here is your host Dr. Brent W. Laartz, Associate Professor of Infectious Diseases and Internal Medicine, neuroscientist, and best-selling author.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for week 9 of a doctor's 52-week journey to an unprocessed life. This is travel edition extraordinaire. Love France. Every time I come to this country, I am amazed at the people, amazed at the foods. But I'll tell you what has to happen here. In our journey, the 5 pillars, the first 4 pillars, diet, movement, sleep, connection, and then the 5th pillar being plastics avoidance and some of these artificial chemicals avoidance, forever chemicals avoidance. Sometimes difficult on travel days and because of the airports, and then during travel difficult because you're in a hotel and or an Airbnb. It's difficult to find the locations. You need to research. I do a lot of research before I go on any of these trips because I need to find the locations for grocery stores that are going to have organic foods and less processed foods. Love the markets in Paris. So great to stop in and see what different kinds of vegetables and fruits they have in foreign countries. Everywhere I go, I was just in Chile recently, now in Paris. The connection you can make with travel for diet, people, movement, sleep, everything is amazing. Okay, so going to be talking a little bit, about France. France has a reputation for the cream culture, right? Everything has cream, everything has cheese. Certainly, you don't have to avoid that completely, but stay true to I'm staying true to my diet with all of this because I want to live longer. And certainly, one thing I noticed here in Paris is that there's a lot of young people that smoke. And so I think that I see quite a few young people in the US vaping, but I don't see them smoking as much. Whereas I think I see that a bit more here in Paris, young people smoking and older people smoking. There's still a smoking culture in France. Certainly that hopefully can change in the future. I'll have to speak personally to Macron about that, but we're going to keep harping on this, and that is health. Health is everything you can do, every facet of your life. Can't avoid the need to stay healthy in your older age. The great thing I feel like is great here is that apart from the cream and the cheese culture, which great, I had a great salad. There was a tomato and burrata salad when I first arrived here. Amazing tomatoes that they have here, amazing strawberries and berries that they have here. Yeah, I live in Florida where we have supposedly great berries, right? And I'll tell you, the strawberries I had yesterday were absolutely sweet, organic. Stay true to the culture you visit, and that's what I want to do when I'm going to these locations, to get to experience the people and the diets and the different activities that are present in these locations. I'll tell you, if I turn up missing, there's going to be one of 2 places that I'm going to be. It's either going to be in a remote island on a sailboat, or it's going to be in France, probably in the south of France. Love Paris too. As I was walking here the last couple of days, every single building I stopped by, looking at all of these locations, seeing buildings that were built in the 11th, 12th century, and rooftop gardens, courtyards, amazing. Every single one of these buildings, I want to live I want to live in every single one of these buildings. I don't think I've passed by a single block in Paris, visiting gardens, visiting places that are amazing, visiting with the people. What I like to do is stay true to the culture, meet people that are in the culture, meet local people, meet people who are expats too. I'm visiting later tonight with a person who I went to college with who moved back to Paris. This was a French girl who was in the United States going to school, came back to Paris, and I'm going to go meet with her, find out what her experience is. I know that she um, is glad to be back in Paris, doesn't miss the American culture, loves the French culture. So I'm trying to stay true to the culture, meet people here, um, and not trying to experience the Americanized, bastardized French part of the culture. So you don't want to visit the tourist areas too much. Although love the tourist areas. I took a walk yesterday. Um, Here's what I can say is that agriculture in France is second to none. Amazing culture, amazing chocolate, amazing strawberries. So I can say that what I like to do when I am in a foreign country is try to stay in a walkable area, somewhere where I can walk a lot. If I'm not staying in an area where I can walk on at like in Santiago, I stayed in a hotel that was a little bit on the outskirts, had to travel into the city to get to that walkable culture, get to that area, get to that walkable area, get to the outdoor areas. And that's what I did in Chile. I got to up into the mountains and into an area where I can hike. I love hiking, love getting to that area, experience the outdoor activities and experience the activities that are unique to that country. Um, Trying to get to restaurants, but keeping true to my mostly vegan mantra, but trying not to get to a fake place that has fake meats, fake cheeses. I was recommended a restaurant here called Aujourd'hui Demain, which means today, tomorrow in French. And it was an amazing location, amazing food, tasted good. But because it was a vegan restaurant, probably 5 out of the 6 main courses had either a fake meat or a fake cheese. So, they're in France, right? So they want to stay true to this cream and this cheese culture. But why not just make a vegetable dish that is just vegetables, like a stir fry, something that is fully vegan if you're going to be a vegan restaurant. So, um, trying to get to this week's pillars. All right. So, we're talking about the diet we're going to have on our travel day today. Uh, uh, Cheese, trying to make that the most non-vegan vegetarian that I can get. Still going to be vegan 3 days. Managed to be vegan 5 days, with one of the days being a travel day and one day here in France last week. So 5 vegan days last week. Um, that's not my usual. Right now, I'm trying to be 3 to 4 vegan days. Um, Obviously, we have talked about less alcohol before. I'm not avoiding the bar though. Love heading to the bar. There's all kinds of zero alcohol beers and cocktails that are here. Um, and meeting the people. So met some people from Los Angeles here yesterday with their son. My daughter is going to school here, and hopefully that can allow me to meet as many people as I can in the French culture. Still staying true to the antioxidant phase, eating berries every day. Chocolate, as noted, chocolate has more antioxidants even than berries. So especially if you eat dark chocolate, trying to avoid the milk chocolate. Okay, so meeting the people with the diet. So talking with people about French cuisine is, I think, the easiest way to meet people in a foreign country, and less Americanized versions, right? So here in France, they have a lot of Italian restaurants, and um, the ingredients in their Italian restaurants are second to none as well. I mean, I think that you can't get much more Italian than being in a French Italian restaurant. Obviously, Italy is number one, right? But I think France is number two right behind it. American Italian restaurants in America couldn't be more bastardized than that. So love to try to get to the best diet that I can. Gonna haven't had a crepe yet for breakfast. Obviously, I try to not eat breakfast, have that extended fast, extended time restricted feeding. So that usually means I don't eat breakfast, but I'm going to eat the crepes one day here. I'm going to stop in. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I love hot chocolate. So I'm going to try to get to one of these cafes and have some dairy-free hot chocolate along with crepes in the morning. Movement. Nothing better. I think that I probably, when I'm on vacation, have more activity than I even do on my full exercise routine at home. Yesterday, I walked 25,000 steps, walked about 12 miles, walked from the Bastille all the way up to the Champs-Élysées, and also went to the Arc de Triomphe de Colossus and also the full Arc de Triomphe, and then went to the Eiffel Tower, walked back down along the River Seine, and that turned out to be, I'd imagine, I didn't do a Strava on it, but I'd imagine it was probably 12 miles. And it was 25,000 steps yesterday. The day before, first day I was here, I ran 4 miles and walked 4 miles. That hit me to over 20,000 steps as well. Certainly, I see a lot of people coming back to the United States or anywhere for vacation for that matter, and they get some sort of an injury either to their foot or to their legs somehow because they weren't ready for it, right? They did too much activity. And we need to talk about that as far as movement, as far as avoiding injury as well. So one of the things that is a must for vacation is for me to prep by walking more, getting more steps in, more running before I even head on vacation. That way I'm used to it. I'm staying in a walkable location, avoiding Ubers. I took an Uber from the airport. That's the only Uber I've had so far. I think I might have to another to get to where my friend is, an old friend who's in Paris. I think I'm going to have to take an Uber there. I might walk there and then Uber back, but I think it's going to be a good 6 or 8 miles just to get there. I think it's going to be a good 8 miles. So I might try to avoid an Uber, especially late at night. So the challenge for our third pillar of better sleep is also a challenge on travel. Certainly when you travel east, you're going to have difficulty with jet lag. And I always have some difficulty. One thing I always try to do is try to prep the room when you get to the hotel, prep the room for that jet lag. This hotel happened to have a really dark room, and if you can black out, all the better. Bright light in the morning, try to set your clock to the local time as soon as possible. Wake up, even if you're jet lagged, get out in the morning, 7 or so in the morning, try to get the bright light sunlight for at least an hour and try to set your clock. The other thing I try to do is try to prep my biological clock by advancing it. Let's say I'm coming to Paris and it's 6 hours difference, and I need to set my clock so that I can wake up at 7 in the morning where I'm here. Well, that's approximately midnight in Tampa. So I need to wake up a little bit earlier, maybe 4 or 5, get some artificial light maybe, and Trying to avoid caffeine, avoiding caffeine in the afternoon as well. Um, the question we'll have for the future is getting a mask, trying to avoid sleeping on the plane as well. On the plane, I usually take red-eye flights, right? So I'm getting here at 8 in the morning, so I can sleep on the plane in that situation. But if you're flying during the day, you're getting here during the day, trying to avoid that sleep during the day. What would have been daytime in the country I'm visiting. So connection that I'm getting in France is amazing. Trying to visit with as many people, stopping by the cafes, the culture and experience, and obviously I want to see the historic situations, and obviously often those are the most crowded locations and tourist locations. But I want to experience that. But then I also want to experience some of the local fare and local locations, such as gardens, El Jardín, Jardin. Um, Oftentimes, I'm learning better French, but oftentimes my Spanish creeps in to my French, El Jardín instead of El Jardin. Um, Trying to join run clubs everywhere I go. So I'm heading to a run club over the next couple of days. There are probably 20 or so run clubs in Paris. And that's going to be a situation where I can meet some people. And when I'm there, I might be the farthest traveled to get to that location for this run club. Trying to take local tours, smaller tours that are less of the bigger tours. You know, anytime I go on any tour, try to avoid a tour that has 50 or 100 people on a boat for a snorkeling expedition. Try to get to a more private one that has maybe 10 or 12 people max. Education classes. Amazing something that here is here. I think it's a French classes you can take. I think it's French. Is it French? If I could find it here. This class that's here, it is French as you like it. It has multiple locations in Paris and probably multiple locations all throughout France. Something that I'm going to try to um, visit and try to take at least one class for my French so I can, and potentially there in a French class, you're going to meet other people, probably going to be people from other locations, so usually the United States, but it could be other locations. And that is something I like to do as well when I'm visiting a foreign country. So, all right. So, again, trying to get as much activity packed in, trying to get as much local diet. Had some great strawberries, as I said, some blackberries, chocolate, some French chocolate. And the other part about France is the amazing thing about ingredients in their foods and ingredients in their cosmetics and lotions and shampoos, avoiding some of the forever chemicals. It is easy to get to an American hotel, and you're going to have potentially Americanized versions of what you think or what I think is going to be a natural shampoo. But if you're in an Americanized hotel, you're going to get that. So there are so many organic shops here that I can get some organic soaps, shampoos, and lotions. Always trying to bring some of those home with me. Um, Trying to use glass bottles for my waters, for example. Um, and I love glass bottles of water wherever I go. I had all intent to bring my stainless steel water container. Most hotels here, in France have water filling stations, so it's a lot easier to not even do this, but I forgot it. Huge mistake on my part. But the waters are second to none in Paris. A lot of waters that are in glass bottles here, such as this Evian that I just drank. And I'm not sure if I've ever told this joke um, to you guys, but Evian spelled backwards is Naive. Certainly, the water still is, to me, good quality water. So, all right. So, staying natural, staying organic. Let's recap a little bit about what we've done today. Again, movement is so important. Over the last 9 weeks, really made a lot of changes and really took a little bit of a break because I had a major work issue that I had to get through. But amazing how just a bit of changes that have caused me to lose weight, caused me to get healthier, caused me to change my cholesterol for the better, change my diet for the better, change my um, hemoglobin A1C for the better. As I've told you, my family has a lot of diabetes in it, and these are not obese people in my family, right? So we have somewhat these skinny type 2 diabetics in my family. And I've moved to the pre-diabetic situation and now moving out of that. So we started off at the start just introducing daily servings of berries, getting better movement, starting an accountability app, either a tracker app and or like I have the Aura Ring did, um, doing Sunday meal preps, trying to help with that situation at work. If you're at work and you are someplace where it's difficult to find some healthy food. Um, and my supplements, calcium and vitamin D, B12, omega 3s, trying to avoid red meats, and um, weight and resistance training, along with cardiovascular training, trying to get to 6 days a week, 3 days each of cardiovascular training and resistance training, being mindful, becoming more true and at touch with everything, changing home utensils in a home, everything in the home into something that is less plastic, steel utensils, wooden utensils, staying true to my microbiome as well, trying to lessen my dairy consumption, red meats, trying to eat, when I do eat meat, poultry and seafood only, um, bringing in more creativity and connection to people, creativity of either painting, writing, and this being creative with social media. Um, Steel water glasses. I'm trying to be low carb and nothing with artificial sugar. Only honey or agave for the sugar sweetening if I am doing it. Daily psyllium in the morning, every morning, trying to get some fiber. And that's again staying true to the microbiome. Not avoiding no nonstick pans in my life. Certainly haven't had them for years. Um, Knowing your self-worth is also important because if you're going to become healthy, you have to know that your decisions are going to impact that, and that's going to impact your life in the future. And you have to know that you are worthy of having a long, healthy life. Trying to track my walking and running and now Strava and becoming more social. Um, I made it to vegan 1 to 3 days per week. Now probably 3 to 5 days per week. Um, Again, prepping, buying a lot of vegetables, buying a lot of fruits, and making the fruits worthwhile because fruits have a lot of sugar in them. And so if you're going to have fruits, eat the ones that have a lot of antioxidants. So usually the blue or the more purple or red they are, the more antioxidants. So, um, and I think one thing I missed about this is using a lot more avocado and olive oil. And if you're going to use seed oils, make sure they're cold pressed and make sure that they are um, organic and cold pressed and not the highly processed ones. Making some homemade olive oil dressings. If you're going to put dressing on a salad, which you're going to try to eat, I try to eat more salads. And if I'm going to do that, avoiding processed foods of dressing, because if you look at most dressings, their ingredients are not very good. Okay, so try to make your own homemade olive oil dressings. Um, Getting a friend to join with you on your biking and running, running at happy hour instead of going out to the bars at happy hour, joining a run club, because run clubs are not just for running. It's amazing how my girlfriend can go to a run club and there's plenty of people walking at a run club. So I'm sure that the same thing is going to be here in Paris where I can get to a situation in these run clubs. There's going to be walkers as well. Something I didn't mention about here was sleep, about getting a colder room, weighted blanket, and often when you travel, you're traveling with family and you're staying in a clique, right? Try to get your family out into and avoiding that clique situation where all you're doing is spending time with them. And certainly that is a part of travel, right? When I travel with my kids, I love spending time with them, right? But also I'm trying to get them out and experience the culture, experience the people of France. Um, I think a little bit here, my daughter has been spending time with a lot of the American kids, not necessarily with the French kids. She's met some people, but I'm gonna, when she comes in, um, gonna try to get her out and meeting some people here. So, all right, so that's week 9. Love what I'm experiencing here. Love the experience of my life, and um, can't wait to share the rest of the year with you guys. It is something I've been looking forward to, trying to get this back on track, back into a weekly contribution to what's out there. Hopefully, you guys can follow me, I can follow you, and we can share things together on our weekly Zoom calls and um, check it out on goonpro.com. Check out our social media, Brent W. Laartz, MD. We're on every social media except for X, right? So we are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Threads, we're on Substack, and we're on YouTube for our podcasts are on now video podcasts most places. So if you're listening to me on an audio podcast, um, certainly you can look and find our podcast for free on Substack, on goonpro.com, on YouTube, on Spotify has video, and Apple Video as well. So look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thank you for following me. Thank you for letting me follow you as well, and any input you can help me with. Love being with you guys along this journey. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay true, everyone. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to longevity. Stay true to your long, healthy life.
This site and any information communicated within it are not intended as medical advice. The information herein is not intended as medical care, diagnosis, or treatment of any medical condition. No component of this content, including discussion or comments, shall be construed or implied as establishing a doctor-patient relationship. Before you translate or copy any of the information, diet, exercise, or products utilized herein or on any social media post to your own practice, consult your own research, physician, therapist, or nutritionist for your own health. No warranties or claims are made as to the benefits or risks of any treatments, diet, exercise, or products herein. Research any treatments, diet, exercise, or products thoroughly before trying for yourself. Referral, affiliate, or advertising fees may be garnered by this site.